There's some moments in history that just feel inevitable, like every star aligned perfectly for one incredible outcome. Today, we're going to deconstruct one of those moments, a legendary victory, but through a very unique lens, one that suggests these things might not be so random after all. Let's uncover the hidden architecture behind this epic win.
Those were the words of Jack Hughes just moments after sealing his place in hockey history. I mean, think about it. He said this with broken teeth, pure adrenaline, capturing the raw emotion of a win that was almost half a century in the making. It was a sentiment that just echoed across the entire country.
So let's set the scene. The date is February 22nd, 2026. For the first time since the legendary Miracle on Ice way back in 1980, Team USA is on top of the Olympic podium. And the game-winning goal? Scored in a heart-pounding 3-on-3 overtime. This wasn't just a game. It was a genuine cultural moment.
Now, it's so easy to say it was just grit, incredible talent, or maybe a lucky bounce of the puck. And of course, all of that was there. But what if there were other patterns at play? A kind of hidden architecture of connection and timing that aligned perfectly to create this exact outcome? That's the question we're going to dive into.
Okay, here's our roadmap. We'll quickly revisit that historic moment. Then we'll introduce the analytical method we're using to spot these unseen patterns. From there, we'll decode the connections between the key players, analyze the chemistry of the championship team, and finally, show how it all came together in that one perfect moment.
All right, so to really get what happened on the ice, we have to step off it for a second. We need to look at a pretty sophisticated tool designed to identify these exact kinds of hidden patterns. It's called the CrownLine Method.
Now, it is absolutely crucial to understand what this is and what it isn't. This has nothing to do with tarot cards or telling the future. Think of it as a system of relationship analytics. It uses a standard 52-card deck simply as a visual language, an interface for a very precise, mathematically driven system that maps out connections, all based on one piece of data: your birthday. Exactly. The best way to think about it is this. The cards, the suits, the numbers, the colors, they're just symbols. It's no different than how an engineer uses a schematic to understand a building, or a chemist uses symbols to understand a formula. The CrownLine method uses these card symbols to map the structure of relationships and timing.
So how does this language actually work? Well, it all starts with two core identifiers that every single person has, and they come directly from your birthday. Let's break down these basic building blocks.
Okay, so everyone has what's called a birth card. This is calculated using a specific mathematical formula tied to the day you were born. And then you also have an astrological ruling card, which, as the name suggests, is determined by the month and zodiac sign of your birthday. These two cards right here, they form the foundation of your personal profile in this system. Now, once you know a person's two cards, the method looks for connections between people across four basic types of alignment. It's pretty straightforward. You're looking for an exact card match, a shared number across different suits, a shared suit, or cards that are in sequential order within the same suit. Think of these as the fundamental rules of synergy in the system. All right, now for the really fun part. Let's take these rules and apply them to the architects of that 2026 victory, the coach and his 3-star players. This is where the patterns start to pop, and honestly, it's pretty stunning.
So here they are, our key figures. We've got Coach Mike Sullivan, the master strategist, Jack Hughes, who scored that golden goal, Zach Werenski, the defenseman with the critical assist, and Connor Hellebuck, the goalie who was just an absolute wall, stopping 41 shots. Keep these cards in mind because they are the key to unlocking the whole dynamic.
Let's start with the powerful connection between the coach and his star forward. Right away, you can see Sullivan's birth card is the Jack of Clubs, which is the exact same as Hughes's ruling card. But that's not all. Hughes's birth card, the 5 of diamonds, is sequentially connected to Sullivan's 4 of diamonds. I mean, this is a remarkably strong two-way alignment. And the synergy just keeps going with defenseman Zach Werenski. His connection to the coach is also layered. Check this out. Their birth cards are both odd-numbered clubs, and their ruling cards are both even-numbered diamonds. This points to a really deep, foundational compatibility between them.
And finally, the goalie, Connor Hellebuck. The pattern just holds strong. He shares that same suit, odd-numbered club as his birth card with the coach, just like Werenski did. And his ruling card, the 4 of hearts, shares the number 4 with Coach Sullivan's 4 of diamonds. You see, the core of this team is just woven together with these incredibly powerful repeating connections.
So you have to wonder, what about the other guys?
A quick look at Team Canada's coach and key players shows a completely different picture. A stark contrast. There are just no major alignments, no matching numbers, no shared suits. There's even what's called a fundamental color mismatch. The coach's cards are black, while his key players are red. From this analytical viewpoint, the underlying chemistry just wasn't firing on all cylinders.
Now, this deep-seated chemistry is one half of the story. But the CrownLine Method also looks at timing, identifying specific cycles where the potential for success is just off the charts. And believe me, this is where the story gets really mind-blowing.
So now we're shifting from the static connections to dynamic timing. This here is Coach Sullivan's timing chart for the whole year. Think of it like a roadmap of his potential. The method highlighted his key thinking cards, and for that year, they were the King of Spades, literally the highest card in the deck, and the Eight of Diamonds, which in this system is known as the Star card, indicating monumental success.
And here is where the synchronicity just gets wild. Look at goalie Connor Hellebuck's chart. During the exact time of the Olympics, he entered a 52-day cycle where that very same star card, the Eight of Diamonds, was active for him. This signifies the completion of a huge success. I mean, he was right in his peak performance window. But we can zoom in even closer. This is Zach Werenski's chart for the exact week of the final game. And his active cards for that week? The Five of Diamonds and the Jack of Clubs. If those sound familiar, it's because they are the exact birth and ruling cards of Jack Hughes, the guy he passed the puck to for the winning goal. It's just unbelievable.
And to complete the circle, here's Jack Hughes' chart for that week. On the day of the gold medal game, his main active card was the Two of Diamonds. And what's the Two of Diamonds? It's the exact ruling card of Zach Werenski, the player who gave him the assist. The synchronicity was perfectly reciprocal. It flowed both ways.
So when you put it all together, the picture becomes incredibly clear, doesn't it? According to this method, this wasn't just a team with good vibes. This was a team whose core members were deeply, mathematically interconnected, and whose individual cycles for peak performance aligned with breathtaking precision. At the exact moment, history was waiting to be made. This analysis gives us a really compelling way to understand a historic win, but it also makes you ask a much bigger question, right? It suggests that just beneath the surface of our own lives, both personal and professional, there are these hidden patterns of connection and cycles of timing always at play. And so the question to leave you with is this: what could you possibly achieve if you could see them too?